We have all been in situations where we listened to software engineers and we didn't know what they were talking about. In this video, you will learn what we mean by CI/CD, and I will explain a few connected topics in the simplest way I can. Hey Tanya, did you merge the new feature already?
No. When I tried to merge it yesterday, I saw that our pipeline is broken. I will try to fix it today and deploy it to production.
I'm Leonard, Engineering Manager at Klarna. With this video, I help you to understand software engineers better, increase your productivity, and the overall impact you can have on your product. To understand what Tanya just said, we need to talk about CI/CD, how to create new software versions, and how to make it accessible to the users from the source code we developed. After we create a new feature for our product, we need to transform it into a new version of the software, test it, and deliver it to the customers. To not always do that manually, we utilize a strategy called CI/CD, continuous integration and continuous deployment. Continuous integration means that we frequently merge several smaller changes to the software into the master branch. This is a very important process working on larger projects, because if you work on two separate versions of the software for too long, it will create massive merge conflicts or make it even impossible to merge it again in the future. If you ask yourself now what master branch, merge, or merge conflict means, watch my video about Git where I explain those terms. Continuous deployment or delivery means that instead of releasing one large software version once a year, we continuously create smaller changes to the software for the customers to update to. This means that we can offer smaller updates, for example once a week or even daily. Most modern apps and web applications are developed in this way. This is why you can see frequent updates to the software you are using. For continuous integration and deployment, we create so-called pipelines. You can imagine a CI/CD pipeline like a manufacturing pipeline in the real world. We define several steps, and all of them must be completed successfully before going to the next one. Once we are done developing a new feature for our software, we can start such a pipeline, and if all steps succeed, we have a new version of our software ready to be used. We can now talk about some of the most common steps in a pipeline. One step is to translate the source code we wrote into machine-usable code. This step is necessary because the source code we humans can read and write is usually not ready to be used by a computer. You can think about programming languages as if we write the source code in English, but the computer only understands Latin. We could technically write the source code directly in Latin, but for most humans it would be much more complex and less convenient than just using English. We call this step compiling or building the software, translating it into something the computer can use. Before this step, we usually call code the source code, and afterwards we call it machine code. Together with building the software, we can also test it with automated tests. This could mean, for example, that if we developed a feature which calculates something, we can automatically test if the results are what we expect. But automated tests can also cover visual correctness or the full integration between several systems. After we successfully build and test the version in two steps of the pipeline, we can finally deploy a new version of the software. Oh, and with deployment, we just mean that we upload a finished version of the software to a server, or for example an app store, where users can download the update and use it. I'm leaving out many steps here, because a CI/CD pipeline usually would include many more steps, but that would require another full video. In reality, a lot can go wrong or fail during those pipeline steps. This is why software engineers usually talk about broken pipelines. This just means that some step in the pipeline, for example the testing, had an error, and that's why the pipeline couldn't be completed. If you want to know how annoying broken pipelines are for us software engineers, just know that if you want to talk about a broken pipeline with a software engineer, approach them very carefully and immediately offer emotional support. If we now listen to the original sentence again, I hope it makes a bit more sense. Hey Tanya, did you merge the new feature already?
No. When I tried to merge it yesterday, I saw that our pipeline is broken. I will try to fix it today and deploy it to production.
If you have more topics or sentences you don't understand, please comment them under this video and I can maybe make a future video about them. Thank you for watching until the end. If this video helped you, consider subscribing and taking a look at the other videos I've made.